Hello and welcome. My name is Mohammad Sharik Kamal. I have about 10 plus years of IT industry experience in some of the largest MNCs. Some of my previous companies include Intel, IBM, HP, etc. I am a DevOps and cloud enthusiast, and for the last couple of years I have been working in this field. I have done content development and consultation for both DevOps and cloud. I have industry certifications from Microsoft, Red Hat, VMware, and AWS. I have expertise in both on-premise DevOps and AWS deployment services, which are the DevOps services from AWS. I am an avid reader. I have read a lot of fiction and non-fiction books. Some of my favorite writers are Jeffrey Archer and Frederick Forsyth, and a couple of them. So let's talk a little bit about this course and why you should learn Chef. So first, let's take a look. What exactly is the reason you should be learning Chef? First of all, you should be learning it if you want to automate your infrastructure and if you want to convert your infrastructure into code. Now, Chef is one of the most sought after skill set in DevOps for configuration management. The other competition for Chef is Puppet and Ansible, but there are some clear-cut advantages for Chef, which we are going to talk about during the course. Chef provides end-to-end DevOps solution with Automate, Habitat, and Compliance suites, which we are going to take a look at during this course. Chef has this unique test-driven development approach, which is not there in any of the other configuration management tools. It works extremely well for complex problem solving, and some of the companies who use Chef are on your screen: Capital One, IBM, Cognizant. These are some of the big names who use Chef in one or the other way. They are either direct consumers of Chef configuration management or they use it for their clients. Now let's take a look at what exactly we are going to learn in this course. So the first module actually is the introduction to configuration management tools and their importance in DevOps ecosystem. We take a close look at Chef and do a high-level comparison of Chef with other configuration management tools such as Puppet and Ansible. In section 2, we will create ourselves a full-fledged Chef ecosystem and will take a look at important installation and configuration details to get a Chef infrastructure. We also get to know different types of Chef servers and their use cases, along with an introduction to Chef Workstation. Section 3 introduces us to the core of Chef: recipes, cookbooks, resources, and the likes. We write some basic recipes and understand the Chef client run. We understand run lists, and we go through some common but important Chef resources along the way. In section 4, we take a tour to understand how things work in Chef behind the scenes. We understand the internals of OHI, which is a Chef profiler. We talk about search. We talk about the internal structure of Chef server, along with some important config files within Chef. No development is complete without a proper testing framework, and Chef is no exception. It provides us with some of the great tools to test our cookbooks and recipes before we deploy them to production. Understanding how Test Kitchen works is what we are going to cover in this module, along with a lab. And here in the final section, we take a look at some of the new offerings from the Chef stable. Habitat, Automate, and Compliance are comparatively new offerings from Chef, but they have quickly proved their worth and becoming an integral part of the infrastructure automation projects. In this section, we try to understand these products and how they can help us achieve awesomeness in our projects. So what are the prerequisites for this course? The first one is basic familiarity with Linux systems, your Linux and Unix operating systems. You should be familiar with them. You should have basic understanding of virtualization in general, good networking concepts, and other server and data center related concepts. You should have in general, good understanding of how IT works and how software delivery happens. And you should have a familiarity with any of the text editor. Which one does not matter a lot, but you should have understanding of at least one text editor. Now, if it is Sublime or if it is Atom or if it is Notepad++, that does not make much of a difference as long as you are using any one of these professional text editors. Now, one important thing to remember is that these prerequisites are not exactly mandatory, but they are more like good to have. Alright, so I can't wait to get started. Let's begin.